Hey everyone, I've been getting tons of questions about the best talents, runes, and more for warrior tanks in SOD, so I wanted to go over what the top warrior tanks are doing to see what's working best. Since tank survivability isn't really a factor in BFD due to low damage intake, the main things we care about are threat and DPS, which generally go hand in hand, but not always. The metric we're going to be looking at is boss damage parentheses tank on Warcraft logs, which is the average DPS a tank did across all bosses in a single raid. This gives us a good idea of what the best overall approach is, rather than looking at parsing specific bosses. I'll have a link to the Google Sheet in the description if you'd like to take a look. Keep in mind this stuff is all fluid and the meta is still developing, so things could change. For this analysis, we're just going to be looking at the top 20 in the boss damage tank category. Let's first look at runes. For chest, 80% are using Raging Blow, which makes sense because every single top 20 warrior is also using Consumed by Rage for their leg rune, so they have frequent opportunities to use Raging Blow. Flagellation is another great option here, especially for a shorter fight where you have the extra damage for a huge percentage of the fight duration. There isn't really a good use for Warbringer on any of the BFD fights, but one person still managed to get into the top 20 with it. As for hand runes, Devastate was by far the top choice at 80%, which means they're doing a lot of damage while also having more survivability. The survivability doesn't matter a ton in BFD, but it's a nice bonus if you're getting it for free while doing top 20 DPS anyway. If we zoom into just the top 10, every single person was running Devastate when I looked at the rankings. As for talents, there's an even split of Arms and Fury players with a couple playing Prot. As expected, talent choices in Phase 1 don't matter a ton, simply due to the fact that we don't have very many talent points. For arms, people are either going 11-5-0 for 1 point in deep wounds and 5 in cruelty, or 13-3-0 for 3 points in both deep wounds and cruelty. With the Fury build, people are going 0-16-0, mostly with 5 in cruelty, 5 in unbridled wrath, 5 in improved battle shout, and 1 in enrage. Since the personal damage is so similar between Fury and Arms, Fury seems to be the play because you're also buffing your entire group's damage with Imp Battle Shout. I've been asked a ton of times about the blacksmithing chest versus the leatherworking gloves, so I looked at that as well. 70% of the top 20 warrior tanks are using the blacksmithing chest, while only 25% are using the leatherworking gloves. The blacksmithing chest of course buffs your entire raid's damage, so to me it's the clear winner. As for weapon, all warriors are using slow weapons as expected. This is due to the weapon damage scaling of Devastate and Raging Blow, and also extra damage you get from proccing Wind Fury off instant attacks. You'll get the same number of Wind Fury procs from instant attacks regardless of weapon speed, but the ones with the slow weapon will just do a lot more damage than the ones with a fast weapon. Owned Darkwater Talwar is the best slow weapon out there, so it's unsurprising that 70% of the top 20 warriors are using it between both one-hander shield and dual-wield warriors, and it's likely that the ones that aren't using it just haven't seen it drop yet. So with all this information, let's build a profile of what a top DPS warrior tank looks like right now. The typical top DPS warrior tank is Arms or Fury, using Raging Blow, Devastate, and Consumed by Rage runes with the blacksmithing chest and a slow weapon. I hope this helped answer your questions about how to build your Phase 1 warrior tank in SOD. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.